with his, and I'm able to assist him as it is supposed to be.
All right. Who is the custodian of that diary?
There is a page with everybody there. There's head of public service, there's a president himself, there is a controller of state house, there's a deputy chief of staff, there was me, there was my chief of staff, there was my private secretary, there are security people, the people really who handle the president and myself were in that page. And you know, we even share.
What do you mean with the page?
No, they are the ones who handle the president's issues, his movement, you know, hospitality people, security people on that page.
Yep.
So that once his activities are known, everybody aligns automatically, and there has been a lot of efficiency because you have the information so that you are able to plan, you are able to coordinate. If you are flying, you know, you are going by chopper, you prepare. If you are going by road, you know. But when you don't have that information, then it becomes extremely difficult for my office to align with the president's office.
Help Kenyans understand. So this diary, is it a physical book?
It's a WhatsApp group. It's a WhatsApp group.
WhatsApp group.
It's every day, you know, things now are good with this digital space. It's a WhatsApp group, and it's updated as you go on. And the president updates it sometimes himself, the controller does, and we all keep on aligning. So you know, sometimes he'll have a program, he'll move it from this day to that day. I get into my diary and change mine and align with his. You understand? So
your team is no longer in that WhatsApp?
No, I myself. I was removed. My private secretary was removed. My chief of staff was removed. So we have no access to the president's diary.
Who removed you?
The private secretary to the president.
Who's that?
Yeah. He's called Mayo. I will show you. I was looking for my phone. I wanted to show you. He removed me. So once we are not there, then we don't know what's going on. So let nobody, let no Kenyan, and let those people in State House who are trying to say that I don't attend meetings, let them return me in the page so that I know what the president is doing, where he is going, what time, so that I'm able to align and give him support, as I've always been doing. But I cannot do it when I don't have access to that information.
Does the president know you're no longer in the WhatsApp group?
I don't know. I've not asked him.
You haven't?
No.
And it's been how long? You said a week?
I think it's about a week.
About a week?
About a week.
And you haven't spoken to him about it?
No, I've not spoken to him about it. To be truthful, initially I thought it's a little bit petty.
Okay.
But now that the matter has been raised, and I have seen Kenyans have been asking, and I have seen some mischievous bloggers in State House trying to insinuate that I'm absconding duty, I have decided to give this information to the people of Kenya in the spirit of the truthful man, a man who speaks the truth, so that the people of Kenya know exactly why I'm not in those functions. I think I owe Kenyans the truth. Because again, as I told you, Sam, I'm employed by the people of Kenya. They need to know why is the deputy president whom they elected not alongside the president in the functions. I think we owe that information to the people of Kenya.
And do you know why you would be removed?
I don't know. But I have told you, there are mischievous people around the president.
Why are they mischievous against you, deputy president?
Well, I don't know. How do you explain mischief? People have many motives. People have many motives. They are mischievous people trying to create a wedge between me and the president. And it's been going on for a while. And I take it in stride myself, because I'm also an elder, and I'm also an officer, you know, who is well trained. I was trained in paramilitary. I have tremendous capacity for perseverance and endurance. I'm able to take a lot of flack, just quiet, and taking it in good tiding, because I am quite mature in my leadership, in my approach to life. And many petty things, I have ignored them, because I sometimes I don't want to become petty. So there are many characters around there. You know, you remember, Sam, when the king was here in State House, the king,
King Charles
the third.
Yeah.
I think I was the president had sent me, I think, to Berlin or to Brussels, I'm not sure. I can't remember exactly to which country. And so when the king was in State House, I was missing. Okay? A blogger who works for the president created a Photoshop. And I know you can remember. Just for mischief and to demean me. Created a Photoshop that, you know, the king is here working with the president. Then there was a window there, and Rigathi Gachagua had been locked in that window, and he actually circulated on his blog until Kenyans complained, then he brought it down, just to demean the deputy president. And these are people who work for the president. And you wonder why. Why, how come you work for the president? You want to demean his deputy. And I told them, I raised it with them, the head of communication. I said, you think you are demeaning the deputy president? You are not. You are demeaning the president. If there is a perception that the president has locked his deputy in a room somewhere so that the king does not see him, who looks bad in this situation? It's the president who looks bad. So there are many people around the president who are very petty, who are full of mischief, and who are hell-bent on creating conflict within the presidency. I would like to ask the people who work for the president to be honorable and decent people. Let the deputy president have access to the president's diary, unless the president himself has expressly given instructions that he doesn't want his deputy to have access to his diary. If that is the case, I'll accept it.
Is it a possibility?
I don't think it's a possibility.
Okay.
I don't think President William Ruto would go that down. But if then I'm not reinstated, now that I have brought it in the public and the president will know about it.
Yes.
If I'm not reinstated, then it follows. It is clear. And then the instructions
that says a lot about your relationship with the president. You just said that because you've raised it in the public, now the president will know about it. What happened to the two of you?
I don't know.
You were very happy on the day of inauguration. In the weeks before the election, you were very happy moving around the country.
I don't know. Looking at it, I am not a mystical person. I am a Christian and a very true believer. But I think it looks like there is a jinx around this office of the deputy president. And President William Ruto had a very rough time with the President Uhuru Kenyatta.
Right.
But luckily for him, he had 5 years to work, and work very well without any disturbance. President William Ruto gave a promise, a commitment to the people of Kenya. When he was complaining the way he was persecuted, he was mistreated, he was demeaned, he was harassed, he gave a commitment to the people of Kenya that under his watch, if they elect him as president, his deputy will never be demeaned, his deputy will never be harassed, his deputy will never be persecuted, his deputy will never be disrespected, and his deputy will be facilitated to work and work well. For the first year, that happened, and I'm grateful to him because he did not allow anybody to disrespect me. He did not allow anybody to interfere with my work. But the second year, I must tell you, that is happening. You know, cabinet ministers have been abusing the deputy president. Just the way it was happening during the time of Uhuru Kenyatta. You remember Tobiko called President William Ruto a clerk. Matiang'i wrote him a message that called him an idiot. And people disrespected him. People were intimidated, people were harassed, and President William Ruto made a commitment to the people of Kenya that if he is elected president, it will never happen that his deputy will be disrespected. Today, the deputy president is abused by people hanging on his car, and the president is quiet. Cabinet ministers have been abusing the president is quiet. The president has given many promises to the people of Kenya. Some of them he has not been able to fulfill them because of the difficult economic situations that we are in, and it's understandable. But there's one promise he gave to the people of Kenya that requires no finance. It requires nothing. It requires him to be a gentleman and keep that promise. The promise he gave the people of Kenya, that under his presidency, his deputy will not be abused, his deputy will not be disrespected, his deputy will not be intimidated, his deputy will not be persecuted, his deputy will not be harassed. That, I think, the president, my boss, owes that to the people of Kenya to honor that promise so that Kenyans can trust him and he can win the trust of the people of Kenya, because this is something within his purview. He requires no funding, he requires no financing, he requires no urging. It's a commitment he gave. And he also gave it to me,
right,
with my wife and my children. When he asked me to be his running mate, I sat with him and my wife and my children, and we asked him, we have seen what you have gone through. If our father becomes your deputy, Will he be taken through what you are taken through? And he gave us as a family a very firm commitment that that will never happen. I'm asking President William Ruto, my boss, please keep your promise to the people of Kenya. Stop those people who are abusing your deputy. Stop those ministers who are demeaning your deputy. Don't allow the criminal justice system to harass and intimidate your deputy the way you are intimidated. If you cannot keep the other promises to the people of Kenya, at least this one is a very simple promise. Be a good man. Be a good Christian. Keep that promise, President William Ruto, because that is a commitment you give to the people of Kenya, and you gave me that promise in front of my wife and children that you will never allow anybody to demean me, to disrespect me, to harass me, to persecute me, to intimidate me, to coerce me. That is a commitment that you gave. I ask you, Mr. President, keep that commitment.
Are you frustrated?
I'm not.